How's it going, you crazy kids, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mastering Music, Mastering Life. And this is my second video of a 5-part series where I go into 5 of what I think are the biggest lessons in my life that continue to serve me well today. Now, I'm sure all of us have had situations in our lives where things haven't gone to plan and they've really let us down. In some cases, really disappointed us and felt like, well, the sky's falling in. But over time, when we look back and we think about it and we connect the dots, we realize that that mishap, that unfortunate incident, that disappointing event somehow ended up being the catalyst to something better happening. So if it wasn't for that thing happening, this good thing wouldn't have happened and come along. And I wanted to share a story with you today to really demonstrate that. And this is one that demonstrated in a very major way for me. And that is many, many years ago when I was working as a radio announcer at Triple M FM in Melbourne. I was working on my studio business, and I was a young married man with a young kid, another one on the way, and trying to get myself together, trying to get some security, some regular work. And I was, as a casual person at Triple M. And over many months and years, I still couldn't quite get a full-time gig while I was still trying to build my business. But I wanted the security. There was plenty of work, but I didn't have that full-time gig. And all these other announcers were coming in, and I was being overlooked all the time. And I was thinking to myself, what do I need to do? I'm loyal. I do all the work. I actually cut my honeymoon short as a way of showing my loyalty to the network. And I was getting really disappointed, really upset. And I was having a talk to Tim Simons, who was the production manager at the station. I said, mate, what's going on? I've been here for 3 or 4 years. I'm being overlooked all the time. And I really need something secure. I mean, I know there's plenty of work and I know I'm being looked after, but I just don't have that full-time gig, that permanent position that locks me in, that gives me a little bit more safety and security. And Tim said to me, he said, mate, I said, listen, Lee Simon, who was the program director at the station, said, Lee loves you. I said, what do you mean he loves me? How can he love me when I've given my all and I need security? I'm married for a few years. I've got these young kids. I said, how can you say he loves me when I've asked him so many times he's overlooked me? He said, mate, Lee knows that you're trying to build a studio business for yourself. And he knows that your long-term prospects are there. And besides, if Lee gave you a full-time job, you're going to be out of his control, and then you're going to be under the control of the national program manager, who could just say to you one day, hey, listen, you got to go to Adelaide. And that's the way it worked with the jocks, that you could be working in a particular city, and then you could be told, boom, you're going to Adelaide, you're going to Brisbane, you're going to go to Toowoomba. You could be sent anywhere. And so if I was in that position of having the full-time job, I would have been in that position. And of course, I wouldn't have been able to build the studio that I built today. So if it wasn't for the fact that I didn't have this full-time, supposedly secure gig that I thought in my mind was secure and safe and regular, I probably would have had to move somewhere else. And there's no way known I would have been able to build my business while I was working. So I was able to build my business, build it up, while having a constant stream of work to keep me going and build the business at the same time. And of course, several years down the track, there was a takeover at Triple M by, corporate takeover. A lot of us were let go, including myself. And luckily, I had a studio business that was up and running and at the point of probably close to making enough critical mass where I didn't need that extra work. As disappointing as it was to lose that job, but at least I had a fallback. So there you go. Just goes to show that while at the time I thought, oh shit, my world's coming to an end. This is unfair. I'm not happy. This is frustrating me. Had it not been for the so-called letdown or setbacks, if you will, there's no one else would have been able to build this business. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of hope. And if you are in a situation where you think things aren't going great, maybe, just maybe, something better can come of it. And you may not see it now, but it may present itself later. Anyway, I love you crazy kids. Please be nice to each other, but more importantly, be nice to yourselves. And we'll see you on our next video.